What's up, y'all? It's Healthy Huey. Thanks for joining me today, keeping you up to date on all things health and fitness because I'm not satisfied with where the future of health is going. Let's talk about a serious matter regarding mental health. A lot of what I have to share was found in a news article by The Guardian and in a podcast by Matt Walsh. I'll put both links down below after this video. In 2021, 65 million Americans were prescribed at least one antidepressant drug. Just 5 years earlier, the number was 40 million. 20% of the country is on medication for mental illness, and it's climbing every year. The DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, expands with each new edition, indicating that health authorities, or so-called health authorities, think there are more untreated mental illness. That number, 65 million, should be higher. They think the number is far too low. They want to identify those suffering from well-known so-called mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, ADHD, and have them drugged immediately. Never mind the dangerous side effects of these drugs. Never mind that we're altering people's brains. Never mind that we're diagnosing and attempting to diagnose and treat conditions that we barely understand, and drugging people based on poorly supported medical theories. Forget all of that. Just keep the drugs and we'll support and leave the money flowing. That's Big Pharma. They're the ones in control of this process of supplying the drugs that I speak of. Speaking of depression, it's been widely believed that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance. So they put a chemical in a pill and there you go. If you believe it's more or less than this, you will surely be attacked for it and be deemed as heresy. This chemical imbalance idea seems simple, so it's correct, right? The claim completely obstructs personal responsibility, that it's out of our hands and into the pharmacies. It takes lifestyle, diet, exercise, etc. out of the equation entirely. Big Pharma's motto is to take the pill, take the shot, and everything will be better, right? Solve your depression with a magic pill. Big Pharma makes billions. It's a win-win, right? Wrong. Back to the theory of chemical imbalance, there is no evidence to support it. It's a marketing strategy. It's not a medical diagnosis. A study released just a few weeks ago blows the lid off the whole scam. Reported by The Guardian, this is their headline. Quote, little evidence that chemical imbalance causes depression. Scientists have called into question the widespread use of antidepressants after a major review found no clear evidence that low serotonin levels are responsible for depression. Prescriptions for antidepressants have risen dramatically since the 1990s, with 1 in 6 adults and 2% of teens in England now being prescribed them. Millions more around the world regularly use antidepressants. Many people take antidepressants because they've been led to believe that depression has a biochemical cause, but this new research suggests that this belief is not grounded in evidence. This, according to the study's lead author, Joanna Moncrief, a professor of psychiatry at University College London. It is always difficult to prove a negative, but I think, in the words of Joanna, we can safely say that after a vast amount of research conducted over several decades, there is no convincing evidence that depression is caused by serotonin abnormalities, particularly by lower levels or reduced activity of serotonin. Thousands of people suffer from side effects of antidepressants, including the severe withdrawal effects that can occur when people try to stop them, yet prescription rates continue to rise. We believe the situation has been driven partly by the false belief that depression is due to a chemical imbalance. It is high time to inform the public that this belief is not grounded in science. Seems Big Pharma has made billions fixing a problem that does not exist. Depression exists, no doubt, but depression caused by a chemical imbalance and the claim that antidepressants fix this so-called chemical imbalance is a myth. In the new analysis, researchers said 85% to 90% of the public believed depression was caused by low serotonin or a chemical imbalance. Most antidepressants are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, originally said to work by correcting abnormally low serotonin levels. The review published in the journal Molecular Psychiatry looked at studies examining serotonin and depression involving tens of thousands of people. One of the findings was that research comparing levels of serotonin and its breakdown products in the blood or brain fluids did not discover any difference between people diagnosed with depression and healthy people. The authors also looked at studies where serotonin levels were artificially lowered in hundreds of people and concluded that lowering serotonin in this way did not produce depression in hundreds of healthy volunteers. Other studies looked at the effects of stressful life events and found that the more stressful life events a person had experienced, the more likely they were to be depressed, showing the importance of external events. What this is saying is that our experiences in life, they do affect our mood, our mental state, for better or for worse. If the chemical imbalance theory were correct, how do doctors even diagnose it? What is the correct balance? Anyone given antidepressants, were they given a brain scan or blood test to confirm that this imbalance existed before treating it? If depression is simply a biochemical in origin, then why is it not diagnosed biochemically? Quote, according to the research, there is also evidence from other studies that antidepressants may actually induce low serotonin in the long term. So these drugs are doing the exact opposite of what they're meant to do. Our view is that patients should not be told that depression is caused by low serotonin levels or by a chemical imbalance, and they should not be led to believe that antidepressants work by targeting these unproven abnormalities, said Moncrief. We do not understand that antidepressants are doing to the brain exactly, and giving people this sort of misinformation prevents them from making an informed decision about whether to take antidepressants or not. This doesn't mean that there is no physical aspect to depression. Depression is a feeling of emptiness, despair, hopelessness, meaningless. If someone's feeling this way, it's almost impossible to discern one simple cause. But the drug companies sell this one-size-fits-all idea, but it's never that simple. There are internal and external factors. We live in an unforgiving, hectic world with plenty of negativity and boredom. The depressed person is not crazy or sick because they recognize this fact about life. There are a lot of reasons to feel bad living as a human being in this world. Doesn't mean we should feel, or that if someone does feel this way, we should leave them to their misery. The problem is that the people facing these thoughts is that they are unable to cope with their condition and with our condition as human beings. They're not able to find meaning, hope, and joy in spite of all the terrible things that come with being a human in this world. The way to treat the depression is to help them cope, which involves a number of strategies, from better lifestyle choices to healthier habits like diet, exercise, getting out in the sun and taking a walk. Very simple things. It's not the cure, but things like that, in some cases, there may be need for drugs temporarily, but they're a band-aid, not the cure. You can't cure despair with a pill, despite what we've been told. Thank you all for watching, and not just watching, hopefully listening and applying what you're learning. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Stay stellar.